So, I don't know about y'all, but I've heard a lot of different stories about what is Halloween and why we celebrate it. I've heard anywhere from it's the devil's holiday to the candy companies came up with it so they can make more money, which is totally believable because according to the HuffPost, over 600 million pounds of candy is sold around Halloween time. That's $2 billion of candy being sold, and it averages out to about $44 a household. That is crazy. The average household in America is spending $50 on candy. Now, I love candy, much as the next person, but that's a lot. So, is the candy company, is this kind of like a religious Satanist kind of thing? Why do we go door to door? Why are we trick or treating? Why are we collecting candy? Like, what are we doing? So, with Halloween coming up, I wanted to kind of do a little bit more research and see why we celebrate it. So, I found out that over 2,000 years ago, the ancient Celtics had a festival called Samhain, and this was where they would create bonfires and they would dress up to ward off ghosts. Now, back then, Pope Gregory III had named November 1st All Saints' Day to celebrate saints. November 1st was also the start of their calendar year. And they believed that between October 31st and November 1st, ghosts and souls could come and roam the earth. There's kind of like that blurred line. So back then, October 31st was known as All Hallows Eve, which is now Halloween. But they would continue these Samhain traditions by dressing up and kind of getting together, passing out food and rice and fruit, and just getting together and just warding off stuff like that. So that's basically where it comes from. Yeah, so that being in mind, as time had passed by, new traditions like apple bobbing came up, carving of the pumpkin, just kind of making it more fun, and just doing more to ward off the evil, the ghosts, the spirits. So now that we know where it's from, I want to tell you a little bit about what I do for Halloween, and I would love to hear what y'all do for Halloween. If y'all have any cool traditions or ideas or what y'all do. So I have two daughters, so we're a huge Halloween family. Our house is all decked out. We go all out for costumes. We go to the best houses. It's kind of like more than just, we kind of start celebrating in September. But we get all dressed up. We take the girls to pick out whatever they want to wear, and it's not scary like some of the Celtics would do to kind of ward off that stuff even more. They're like unicorns and Minnie Mouse and stuff like that. So we decorate, we do pumpkins, we let them pick out whatever, we all get dressed up, we go around the neighborhood, and it's fun to see what other people do as well. I have an uncle-in-law who dresses up as Grim Reaper, gets on his motorcycle, and goes around the neighborhood kind of scaring people. It's really cool. There's also another guy who has a huge popcorn machine, and instead of candy, he hands out popcorn. I've had a neighbor hand me money before. So it's so cool just to walk around, and if you pay attention, you really see how different people want to do Halloween. And after we do take the girls trick-or-treating, we love checking out a haunted house. Me and my husband, we love it. We love checking out new ones. So we like doing that for our trick-or-treating. So that's what we do. A little bit around the world, like in England, they used to, instead of carving pumpkins, they would make designer beats and go around asking for money. In Czechoslovakia, they would put a chair in front of the fireplace, one for each living family member, and one for each of those members' like spirit. not really, they celebrate a remembrance of those who have passed on November 2nd. And instead of it being like a church, or instead of like trick or treating and going all out, they go to church services and it's more reserved. And then it's just crazy all around the world. A lot of it is becoming more Americanized, where we do the costumes and dress up and stuff like that and go door to door. But it's like to kind of like dig deeper and see the backgrounds of different cultures. So I would definitely recommend checking some of that out. So after all this and said, it's not thanks to the candy companies and it's not worshiping Satan. So go out, have a good time. I hope y'all have a great Halloween. And yeah, thanks.